Hello, just a quick one. While I've got you on, I want to talk about grief and things happening that you wouldn't really normally expect to happen. Odd things. So, as some of you know, my dad died, and it is literally just over a year. We buried him, laid him to rest a year ago, 2 days ago, the 5th of November. And what I'm wondering is, it can't, because I don't think it is just me. Certain things have happened, and I was discussing this with a friend. Now, things have happened. So, for example, I have had the feeling that he's here with me. I have had that feeling that, this is how, I'm going to sound nuts. I'm not trying to, but here we go. So I was in bed. Bedroom door closed, only me in the bed, nobody else in the room. Nobody else comes in the room, nobody else goes out the room, just me. In what I can only imagine, it was a dream. I woke up, but in the dream, my dad was there, and I was going to make him a cup of tea. My dad was there, and it was so true to life that I woke up. The bedroom door was open. No way it could have been open by anybody else. There was nobody. My husband sleeps in a different room and sleeps like a tank. There is just no way. I mean, the earth could end and he would still be sock on. Wasn't him. But I was so convinced that my dad had been at the side of the bed that I'd followed him downstairs, gone into the kitchen, turned the kettle on to make him a cup of tea, went into the living room, and he wasn't there. But I wholeheartedly believed he was. That was one. Then I've had things like you feel his presence. You feel coincidences, you could argue. I've had dreams. But then some of these dreams have become a bit less. I think everybody has what we call deja vu, where we think we've been here. Oh, I've dreamt this. Oh, you broke my dream. That's not what this is. This is on a different level. I have also done a video that talked about demonology and satanic forces. And a few things happened after that video. That was a video on Our Lady of Fatima. I'll try and link it if I remember. And I talked about the fact that we need to sort out what Our Lady's asked for at Fatima. I was then assaulted. I was assaulted with my phone. I was laid in bed and I couldn't sleep, so I'd put something on YouTube and I'd fallen asleep, and my phone hit me in the head and was then, when I woke up, was on the bed behind me. It'd been thrown at me. That happened twice. We've had a flagpole outside our house for, I think we've been here, nearly 7 years now? Never had a problem. The minute I put the Fatima flag on that flagpole came down. Snapped. Aluminium pole just snapped. Now, we're at the top of a mountain here. I call it Mount, the place where I live, but it gets windy, yeah. And it was windy. We've had worse winds than that, and it's never been a problem. Now all of a sudden it's snapping in half. Again, could be coincidence. I also had a thing a couple of nights ago where I was getting into bed and thought, right, I need to change my T-shirt. I need to put a different, and I'm not feeling this T-shirt. I'm going to put a different T-shirt on. There were some shorts on the bed. I threw them into the wash basket, took the T-shirt off that I had on, put on a plain T-shirt that I could sleep in. And when I put the T-shirt back on, there were the shorts that I'd just thrown in the wash. Only one pair of those shorts. But there they were. And I'm sort of wondering, something's not quite right here. It's not the deja vu. It's not the feeling that, well... I mean, I also... This one was a bit weird. So I had a dream where I was walking from a park that's actually, when I woke up and thought about it, I kept thinking, why am I walking away from this park? Why would I have been to this park? The park is next to the cemetery where my dad is laid. So I'm walking away from this park and I'm being assaulted by 4 or 5 lads. And I've started sleeping. I saw a video by a priest who said, just sleeping with your rosary in your hand gives you such graces and benefits. So I'd started sleeping with my rosary in my hand. And I have to say, I have slept better. Still takes me forever to get to sleep, but once I'm asleep, it is a better quality of sleep. So praise God for that. But have this dream. Been attacked by 4 or 5 guys, and then one guy just will not leave it alone. The others have gone, he's still fighting. And what I realise in the dream is he's holding one side of my rosary, and I'm holding the other. And I'm not letting go. He's pulling it and trying to get it away from me, and I'm not letting it go. I then see my dad at the side of me. The rosary breaks. I've still got the rosary. This guy vanishes. My dad's there. I turn around again. My dad's gone. Then I end up at a friend's house. Now, this is the bit where it gets a bit weird because I've not known this friend for very long. But, you know, sometimes when you meet somebody, you think, I get you. We click. I get it. I went to her house in the dream to wake her up. I don't know how I walked into her house, but there she was, and she was laid in bed when I woke her. And I said to her, you're gonna, this is what's happened. And she said, oh, I'll tell. And she said a name, but for the life of me, I cannot think of the name. The name started with an M, and it was a long name. Not like Mark or Martin, it was a long name. And my friend said to me in the dream, oh, I'll tell whoever he was, we're going on a date, you know, he's going back to Spain soon. And I'm thinking, okay. So I then mentioned this to said friend and say to said friend, I had a dream last night, you know, and you were in it, and I came to your house and woke you up to tell me about that I'd been attacked in this dream. And said that you were going on a date with somebody with an M. And it was a long name, Mazzarella or Maserati. I don't know. I can't remember the name, but it started with an M. I was crystal clear about that, and it was a long name. And after a couple of minutes, she said, okay, I need to tell you something. I'm going on a date. I'm going out for dinner with somebody, and he's got a long name, and it starts with an M. No way on earth I'd know that. No way. I had no physical way of knowing. She'd never said anything. I mean, why would she? She'd not said a word to me about this person she was going to see. And I'm sat there going, okay, this gets a bit weirder. Then, when I wake up from that dream, I realise that the park is next to where my dad's buried. But I also realise that I'm bruised. And I'm bruised from the dream. Where I've been hit in the dream is where my bruises are. Now, can somebody please come back to me and let me know if anything else like that has happened to you? I am sure we have all felt, because let me be clear, Catholic, don't believe this is the end. Think that life really does start when we die. Really believe that. But I want to know if anybody else has felt the presence of somebody. I don't want to know about deja vu because I think that is a different thing. and I'm not trying to be dismissive of deja vu, but I know what deja vu is. This is not deja vu. I want to know if anybody else has had that feeling where you feel somebody's there, or you feel that somebody's been there, or you're... it's a bit... There's something other going on. And I think some of it is good and some of it is bad. I think the bad is related to the video I did. And that doesn't scare me, by the way. I trust in God, bring it on. That's what you want to do, mate. Let's go. His arm is a lot bigger than yours. It's really nice to feel my dad. It's really nice and quite comforting. And sometimes upsetting, depending on the moment he catches me. He was mad on trains and model villages, and we went to a garden centre and they'd got this display of the Flying Scotsman memorabilia and biscuit tins and all sorts of different things, and that broke me. And I was all right until I saw that, and I thought, he loved that. He absolutely loved the Flying Scotsman. And I feel myself getting upset now, so I'm going to change the subject. But has anybody else had things happen that don't normally happen? Any priests out there think that perhaps we should have a chat? Something clearly is trying to get my attention, whether it's positive, negative, animal, mineral, spiritual, I don't know. But there's certain things that I cannot know that I know, i.e. that dream. There's certain things that have happened, bruises, the smacks in the face, there's something not quite right somewhere. And it isn't me. Before anybody starts, it's not me. But I really would love to know if it is just me that these things are happening to, or if anybody else has had similar things happen. Hail at hailtalkradio.com. Get us on Instagram at The Rob Weston Show, all one word. Website, hailtalkradio.com. I really would love to hear whether you've had something like this. I know sometimes we are eager to believe that the robin in the garden or the wind that you feel, but I really want to know. I really want to know how you have felt in your grief, or even when you've passed the stage of grief. Do things still happen? Let me know. Hail at hailtalkradio.com. Until next time, take care. Be kind, please. Please be kind. We live in a world that is more divisive and more nasty than ever. Let's try and be the opposite force. Let's try and be the kind ones. Until next time, take care. God bless.